I believe that most people have a calling. They have a message, they have a mission, they have something that they want to get out and share with the world and make some kind of a difference. It doesn't have to be a coaching business or a teaching business or anything like that. But I believe that if you're sitting here watching this or listening to this, then you are someone who has life experience and you have things of value that you believe in, and that you know if you could communicate those things, if you could share those things with other people, they could live a better life. Or maybe you have some ideas on a business, or just, you want to start a nonprofit that could change the world, and you see that the world needs a lot of things. The world is in a messed up place, and you just feel like you could change the world if you reached out and, did something about it. My mission is to help other people complete their mission. My mission is to help people get their voice and to find what that is within them. I coached real estate prior to helping coaches and experts like I do now. Pretty much everybody I talked to would say, I want financial freedom so I can quit my job, so I can spend time with family. And, I would really love to give back. I would really love to, do what you do, Brian, and become a coach. Or I would really love to work with people in underprivileged communities, or, a lot of different people. They had this mission oriented thing that they wanted to do, and it was pushed way back into some imagined future for them. Like, I got to do this, I got to figure out money, I got to, figure out my job, like then I can do that. And that was always in their mind years away from happening. And I think that's a shame. I watch so many people that I know wake up and go to work every day at jobs that they don't like so that they can pay the bills. And a lot of them have just sort of given into it at this point, and they just hang their head and go through the motions. And they all have something they would love to do. And you could, if you sit there with them long enough, give them a few beers, they start to open up and they'll tell you, I'd really love to be a comedian or something. And you're like, what? I didn't know that about you. It's like, yeah, but, that could never work. Or, I gotta be realistic. I gotta stay at my job. And it always hurts me when someone says something like that to me, and I can tell they have a dream. I can tell they're unhappy, and I can tell they don't have the confidence to go after their dream. And I believe that we can make our dreams real, and we can make them work for us financially too, because I know that's the big thing that everyone struggles with. I believe that we can make this work. Like, I believe that you can take whatever it is that you're the most passionate about and find a way to make that thing sustain you. I think we put way too much weight and pressure on the sustaining thing. Like, will this make enough money? It's like, dude, if you do what you're passionate about, and you follow that muse and that thing that really lights you up, you're more likely to make even more money than you make now in the long run. It might not happen in the first year or 2 or 3, and it all depends on what it is you're wanting to do. But I believe that you can hone in on that niche that really lights you up and excites you, and you can find a way to exist within that realm and have it pay your bills, so that you wake up and go have fun and you're excited by what you're going to do. And it's also paying the bills, right? You're going to have some business sense to make this happen. You're not going to be able to just say, I love throwing frisbees, so I'm going to go to the park and throw frisbees every day, and then the money will come, right? You'd have to put together a plan that made sense to where you could live within that industry and sell a product or a service or something like that, or, get involved wherever the money is flowing in that industry and figure it out. So it's not like there's going to be some perfect utopian result where you don't have to ever do anything you don't want to do. Like, I still have to do stuff I don't want to do. I still have to pay bills and look at profit and loss reports and look at KPI dashboards and, follow up with people and do crap that, in an ideal world I wouldn't do. But that's 10%. The other 90% is me getting to be creative and me getting to have tons of free time and a lifestyle based upon freedom. Doing what I love, feeling like I'm making a difference and making an income. But it took me years of figuring out my place within that ecosystem. I started out wanting to be a college professor. I knew I wanted to teach, but I realized that world wasn't going to work for me in terms of just having to teach a specific curriculum and the pay and the hours. It wasn't going to be a good long-term fit for me, so I had to pull the plug. Even though I was just about to get my master's degree, I dropped out of grad school 2 credits shy because I was absolutely sure that finishing it made no sense other than me being able to act like a cool guy because I can talk about my degrees, even though I knew I wasn't going to use them for anything. Turns out that was true, and there's absolutely no way I would ever go back to, needing a degree or having a vision that required a degree. I'm totally in the other direction, and I'm very happy, and I feel like this is my place. But I knew, I wanted to teach, and I had to bounce around and try all these different things. And I did that path where I worried about money before I worried about my mission and my passion. And I wish I wouldn't have done it that way because, it deleted probably a good 10 years that I could have spent educating people, writing books, helping people, coaching people, that kind of stuff. Instead, I was just entirely focused on my own financial freedom and buying a bunch of rental properties and passive income equals expenses, all that rich dad, poor dad stuff. If you read the book, it's great stuff, right? It definitely will get you a lifestyle of freedom. But what I've found is that once you have the freedom, you want more than that. And you don't just want to sit in a hammock or watch Netflix all day. You want to have a purpose. People thrive when they have a purpose. They have a reason for existing, for getting out of bed, other than just I gotta eat, I gotta make some money, I gotta, run some errands. That type of life, plenty of people go through their entire lives that way. But I think life is a lot richer when you have a deeper reason for waking up and you're really connected with that. And it could just be being a mom or a dad, right? That is just as noble and amazing as any other purpose, right? There's no scorecard for this. It's up to you. But there's just a lot of people that don't have one. And don't have is really incorrect. I think it's just disconnected with it or haven't found it yet. And I'm here to tell you that you can find what that is, and you can go after it, and you can make it work for you, and you can make it sustain you, and it won't be easy, and you're going to have to learn and grow and push yourself and take risks. But isn't that what life is for, right? I don't think we were put on earth just to be safe and careful and all that BS for your whole life, and then you die. The biggest regret on people's deathbeds is that they lived the life that other people wanted them to versus the one they wanted to. When I heard that, I was like, damn, I'm definitely going to make sure that doesn't happen to me and the people I care about. And I don't want it to happen to you either if this is something that calls to you and speaks to you. I want you to go out there and define what it is you want to do with your life, like in an ideal world, and try to look past, I would sit on an island and drink margaritas. Some people could do that for their whole lives, but I'm guessing if you're the person that's taking the time to listen to some content like this, then you want a little more in life than just to be fat and happy. And so beyond the initial euphoria of not, having to have a job and do things you hate and getting to travel and vacation and sleep in and, drink alcohol, whatever it is for you. Beyond that, once that dies down and you're sitting there and you don't have to do anything. Imagine if you had $1 billion, and you didn't have to do anything. What would you want to do to keep a sense of purpose in your life? As a career, right? Because we have a daughter now. I understand now that being a parent provides me with just as much of a sense of purpose as any business stuff ever has. But for those of you who do want a career, what do you want that to look like? In terms of what would give you gratification, what you feel like would give your life meaning, make a difference, make an impact. This is what I wish somebody would have sat down and really drilled in my head. I don't know if I would have listened, but I wish they would have drilled this in my head a good 10 or 15 years ago. It said, dude, quit being so short-sighted. Quit just looking for money-making opportunities and trying to escape your job. And try to get more connected with your real purpose, your real reason for being here on earth, and the thing you would do even if you already had the money. And then do it now, do it today, and make it make you money, because we don't have $1 billion in the bank, right? So whatever it is that you would do if you did have that, and I'm saying go ahead and do it now. Obviously, you've got to make it sustain you. So maybe you moonlight and do it for an hour every evening or a little bit on the weekends because you have a job. I've coached plenty of clients who are transitioning from their 9 to 5 into the education business, and they had to squeeze it in when they could, and it was challenging. But it was also hard as hell for me to buy a few dozen rental properties and, get the passive income equals financial equals expenses. Real estate coach, I'm rusty. But that was tons of work over years and years. Maybe I could have done it faster, but the way I did it was harder than being in the 9 to 5 or anything I'd ever done before. So you owning what your mission is and your passion is and making that work for you is going to be probably the most challenging thing you've ever done. But it will also be the most valuable thing you've ever done too. At least it was for me. And so that's a little bit about what I believe and what I think is possible for everyone who wants something like this. I do believe this is possible. And you really can make an impact on the world doing what you love, sharing that message, that voice within you, and make an income doing it so that it also provides you with the freedom and the lifestyle to take care of your health, to spend time with your family, to travel. That is the best of both worlds. That's what I have now. And that's what I want to deliver to each and every one of you, because life is just a lot more fun that way. And so, because I believe all that, and because I want to help people with that mission, I've created a brand new online course called Nail Your Niche. Because the number one thing, if you have that mission, you have that passion, you want to help people, is pulling out of you what that is, at least the first version. Like, who do you want to help? What do you want to help them with? How are you going to get the word out there? How are you going to deliver your outcome, your program? How are you going to put that together? That world, when I got into it, was so confusing. And I spent 6 figures and many, many years trying to figure out what to do and what not to do. And I finally cracked the code. And I put all of that in this online course called Nail Your Niche. Right now, you even get one-on-one calls with me, and you get email support from me as part of the program. It's unprecedented in any other online course that you get one-on-one calls with the creator in case you have any questions, in case anything's not unclear for you, in case you get stuck. And that really ensures that you have every possible chance of figuring out your niche and having a really clear plan going forward so that you can tap into that mission, start to make a difference, start to move towards that thing sustaining you so you don't have to trade time for dollars anymore. That's a ticket. If you're interested, shoot me an email, brian@brianelwood.net. Just say I'm interested in the course. And I like to do a little just back and forth with you via email to make sure it's a good fit before we roll. And that's all I got today, guys. Have a fantastic rest of your day. And here is to your freedom and your ability to make an impact. I'll see you soon. Peace.